So I'm not sure if it's just me, but it feels like a strange time in UX right now. I'm noticing a lot of layoffs in our field and budget cuts and a decline in work for external suppliers. It seems we're going through another shift in our industry, which tends to happen every few years due to technological advancements or economic factors. So in this particular episode, I'd like to share a few thoughts and best guesses that I have about what might be happening and what the future might hold. However, I want to begin by clarifying what I don't believe is happening. I don't think user experience is being impacted or replaced by AI. While AI may streamline our processes, and as a result, we might see a few job reductions in the field, I believe the risk of AI replacing us is pretty minimal. And this is due to the nature of AI. It excels in areas like data analysis and in written language, but remains weak in other domains such as strategic planning or emotional intelligence or creative thinking. Unfortunately, these are all core skills essential to user experience design, and therefore I see no reason to worry about the impact that AI might have on our jobs. While AI will inevitably change how we work, it won't diminish the need for our role. So, if AI isn't driving the changes I'm observing, then what is? I mean, it could be simply economic and political factors. There's a lot happening in the world right now that creates a lot of uncertainty. We've got a war in Ukraine, we've got conflicts in the Middle East, the cost of living crisis, and an upcoming election in the US. Additionally, we're also seeing the long-term effects of COVID that have changed the way businesses operate and put significant economic pressure on governments. It's not surprising that organizations are looking to cut costs and are hesitant to start new initiatives. They're all waiting to see how these issues unfold. However, we can't solely blame the broader economy. I also think there are specific issues to UX that are affecting our situation at the moment. To begin with, we're witnessing the end of the honeymoon period for user experience design. For a while there, user experience was the buzzword in business. Similar to digital transformation before it, senior management became aware of the discipline and there was a lot of excitement around it. Excitement driven by the success stories of companies like Apple and Uber, and it led to a frenzy of investment in user experience design. And management was further seduced by some of the statistics that we ourselves threw around. Statistics like every dollar invested in UX results in a return of $100. Who wouldn't be seduced by that? Although there was a frenzy of investment, many of these companies didn't really prioritize user experience effectively. They either underinvested or they had a culture that hindered genuine user-centric delivery. And as you know, you can't just bolt UX onto an existing organization and expect everything to be all right. As a result, it has often fallen short of management's expectations. And now we're starting to see cutbacks, drawn as they are by the allure of the next big thing, AI. To complicate things further, this initial excitement, along with the maturing of the discipline, has led to another issue. You see, the excitement around UX has attracted many people to the field, especially with the rise of things like UX boot camps. Meanwhile, significant progress has been made in the discipline over this golden age of UX. We're discovering what works and what doesn't. UX patterns and best practices are emerging, leading to fewer real new unique problems to solve. Of course, every project has its nuances. However, we can achieve results faster than ever before because we're building on solutions found by others in the past. These two factors, more professionals and fewer problems, have created an oversaturated market. At least that's my current working hypothesis. So, what comes next? Well, your guess is as good as mine. But in the short term, I think we'll probably see more of the same. More layoffs, more budget cuts. Unless the economic and political uncertainty decreases, we're unlikely to see any improvements. However, it ultimately depends on how organizations choose to integrate UX in the long run. The importance of UX is here to stay. There's no denying that. Consumers now expect a good user experience, and that expectation is only going to increase. As a consultant from IBM once put it, the last best experience anybody has had anywhere becomes the minimum expectation for the experience they want everywhere. The question is, how will organizations choose to deliver on it? They've kind of got three routes they can go down. They could recognize the importance of user experience and create strong, well-supported UX teams. And while I believe that some will adopt this approach, I doubt it will be the majority. They could abandon the idea of UX entirely and outsource everything to an external supplier. I think more will go down this route, but that will come with challenges. This approach doesn't address the internal barriers to creating a great user experience, and as a result, they will only achieve superficial improvements, mainly around user interfaces. They could choose to democratize user experience by creating centers of excellence that promote best practice across the organization. These centers would empower others to become user experience advocates and practitioners. And while this approach may work for some organizations, I don't see it becoming the mainstream solution. I believe most will adopt a hybrid approach. Organizations will likely have some in-house staff, but also rely on outside resources for support. To make this work for organizations, they're going to need a strong in-house UX leader to tackle those internal issues that are hindering the user experience. And that's why this is the area that I'm personally focusing on. I see it as having a lot of potential for meaningful improvement that can deliver the largest return on investment for organizations. But what about you? What should you be doing? Well, I don't think any of us need to worry too much. Yes, it's going to be tough for a while, but if you hang in there, I think things will stabilize. Newcomers to the sector, well, I'm sorry to say you're probably at the greatest risk. Some may choose to shift into related fields that have more job offerings. But for those of you who are experienced UX designers, you should probably feel pretty secure in your role. You might have to move from in-house teams to an agency or vice versa, but you'll still find jobs there. As for experienced UX leaders who deliver results, well, I would say the future looks bright for you. UX is here to stay. As long as you can demonstrate your value, you should be fine. And that's the key here. That's crucial for all of us. Now the initial excitement has faded, we have to improve how we show management that our work makes real impact. We need to focus on what matters to them, not just on user needs. For those of you who are advocates for UX but don't work directly in the field, for example, if you're a marketer, we need your support more than ever. You know that user experience is vital not just for the organization, but for you achieving your targets and your goals. So we encourage you to keep promoting the importance of UX design to ensure that it isn't just seen as a failed experiment or reduced to superficial changes to the website. Of course, all of this is just my opinion, and I could be completely wrong. And I'd really love to hear your thoughts on what the future holds and any downturn that you're noticing. So drop me an email to paul@boagworld.com.